You're tuned in to a Grown Folks production. In the mix with the commish, Nate.
What's up, you beautiful people? Thank you for tuning in and giving me a little extra time. Life happens. It happens to all of us, but we're here tonight. It's been a little bit. I haven't seen you guys since the OMFL Bowl number 105. Summer League is underway. The off season is almost 100% complete, but tonight is going to go a long night as we pause, we reflect back on what was a great Madden 23, a great season 105, and we're going to look at some of our favorite teams and reveal the OMFL Pro Bowl. I have two very unexpected guests. One I had no clue was even around, and the other was just like, hey, I'll come help. I was like, cool, let's do it. Let me welcome in our two buddies, Mr. Maniac of now the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Mr. Trey, the championship Detroit Lions of season 104. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
Doing pretty good.
Doing great.
Trey, we were talking right before we got going here. You're about to jaunt over to the United States for 20 some odd days. Little Texas, Brazil in your life going to be happening. Are we excited about the trip?
I'm excited and nervous. It's the first time I'm going airborne.
Yeah, that is always an experience, but you'll find most of it is enjoyable as I break out like I'm a teenager. I don't know what's going on with me. This is what happens when I let my facial hair kind of grow out for a day. It just gets all oily and I look like I'm a teenager all over again. Guys, season 105, it is done, and we have crowned a brand new champion, the Indianapolis Colts, a team that really no one on paper would have looked at and said, that's the team. That's the team that everybody needs to go out and build. He gathered everyone's throwaway pieces from quarterback to receiver to defensive end. He just gathered everybody's throwaways, put them on the field, went out and had an amazing season that won him a championship.
Yeah, he took the bits and pieces that everybody was giving up and essentially built the team that fit him to a T, and it showed. I think one loss the entire season of 105.
And who would that loss might be to? Your New Orleans Saints. Look at that. It's the only thing I got to hang my hat on.
Hey, you beat me too. I mean,
that's right. So I beat the last two champions. And according to you, ruined your season because your offensive lineman got hurt, but he came back and you almost got rolling again.
I got rolling. It just wasn't rolling fast enough. I was the unfortunate benefiter of tiebreaker scenarios that just didn't go in my favor.
I was gonna say, I think since he almost kind of went through throwback and kind of did what Mo used to do with the Seahawks. Man, he would kind of take everybody's throw offs and build this veteran team. Then all of a sudden would be a high 95 overall, 99 team, and would just dominate with them and stuff. And he kind of pulled that kind of that throwback, and it worked really well for him. I had to admit, I was questioning with him getting Ritter at quarterback. I was like, I don't know if this is going to work out, for him. But man, he was just lights out with Ritter at QB for him.
That is a past champion and owner here, Duck's strategy. Ducks was mentoring Mo, and Mo just kind of kept that legacy alive. It looks like Cincyberg just kind of kept it alive for season 105. There's a couple of other teams, though, that really had amazing seasons. Got to talk about the Tampa Bay Bucks. Top 3 pick, I think he was, in season 104. Comes back in season 105, wins his division. I'm pretty sure he won. Yeah, he did win the division. He did get bounced in the first round, but it's really tough to play a team 3 times in one season. I love this amazing PlayStation music that's just playing in the background that you can't do anything about. I hate you for that, PlayStation. How do you turn off this music in the menus? But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Kevin built a team. He had his quarterback Ryder coming out playing great. Fournette had another good season. And his wide receiver package that he had just was outstanding. Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a lot to be excited about as they move into season 106.
Yeah, you're walking into 106. We don't start off with Tom Brady this go around, so it'll be interesting to see if he brings over a quarterback or if he sits the season with Baker Mayfield and maybe traps one in the draft.
He's got to bring over Ryder. I mean, there's no way. I see Kevin in the chat now. What's up, Kevin? Good luck tonight in the shooters. Hope you guys are doing good. But like he's got to bring a quarterback. There's no way you can run with what Madden gives you. It might be the worst roster in Madden. Might be the worst roster in Madden 24.
Yeah, if I was him, I'd bring Ryder. I mean, there wouldn't be no question on it. I think you saw him struggle when he lost the big target wide receiver Evans in free agency, and he struggled in season 104, and he went out and addressed that in the off season, the draft, and man, he was lights out, man. In season 105, he really improved tremendously.
Mike Evans, who rumor has it might have made a Pro Bowl this year. Kevin, breaking news. Kevin has confirmed in the chat that he is bringing Ryder, but he still has a really, really tough long road. I view the Bucks almost like the Houston Texans of Madden 23. Like, there ain't a lot there. They're tanking for next draft, and that just isn't a fun team to kind of take over. We also have to kind of turn our attention to the AFC. Miami Dolphins went on quite the run in season 104. He kind of kept that momentum. A little bit of up and down, but he did go on quite the run, had a hell of a game against the Colts. And anytime you lose to the soon-to-be champion in a very close, tight game, it gives you something to be excited about. Masimone's Dolphins getting it done in season 105.
I mean, if you want to take out back-to-back years, he made it to the OMFL Bowl in 104 and was almost there in 105. That's pretty impressive, given Massimo before wasn't really a name that you would put in the Final Four scenario consistently. But that's 2 in a row now. I'd like to see him hopefully keep that momentum rolling on to 106 and further.
Yeah, there's a moment there where you guys almost left me 100% hanging.
I was waiting for a maniac over there, but no.
Well, and there was kind of like a routine that was starting to go, like where Trey was speaking first and I was going, so I was like, I'm just gonna let it roll, and then it's like, but yeah. No, but it was a great season for Massimo. He put together a really solid entirety of Madden 23, to be honest. From what I saw when I watched, I know he's with his favorite team, and anytime you got wide receivers like Ty Hill and the other guy that he's got there from Alabama. I know Ross used to be an Alabama guy that just drafted everybody from Alabama, but I can't even think of his name, but he's got a lot of speed on the out. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the receiver.
Yeah, I'm talking about the receiver.
Yeah, Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, Waddle.
Okay, yeah.
But it had nothing to do with Ross. That had everything to do with the real Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, absolutely. And but I mean, there's just a lot of speed on the outside, and Massimo really utilized that to his advantage, and and his play calling is, kind of built around that. And then he, kind of got a running game going later on into the Madden cycle. So, just, a very good Madden 23 cycle for Massimo and the Dolphins.
Maniac is being a trooper here tonight. We've been dealing with some kidney stones, some like real life serious things here recently.
Yeah, it's been a little tough, a little rough, and I definitely would not wish these upon the worst enemy in the world. And but thank God I've passed a couple, and I'm going to be going for some tests. So hopefully they're all out. But still got a little bit of pain, so probably not done yet.
That is the wrong use of the word couple. A couple should never be tagged along with kidney stones. My last one made me literally want to die. Well, we appreciate you being here, and we appreciate all you being here with me. It's just Kevin hanging out with me in chat. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Let's get to why we're here. We've had impact rookies. We had teams come out of nowhere. There's a ton of more teams that we could have talked about tonight, but we are here to talk about the OMFL Pro Bowl. So let's get over here and reveal the OMFL Pro Bowl. I'm going to let Trey pick, since he was the last champion on this podcast. Trey, do you want to see AFC or do you want to see NFC?
The greediness in me would say NFC, but I need to see the AFC get some respect. They should get the first go.
Let's get over here and show the AFC roster, and here we go. The AFC quarterback has been Desmond Ridder. There's no shock there. He's the starter for the AFC Pro Bowl. Joe Burrow showing strong. Little Koch had such a great Madden cycle with the Cincinnati Bengals. Spencer McGee out of Cleveland is going to be your starting running back. We had a tie there with Tony Washington out of Tennessee. He's your starting fullback. Nick Chubb, Breece Hall, and Walker Drake are going to round out your running backs and fullbacks at receiver. Not another shocker here. You got Mike Thomas from the Indianapolis Colts. Glenn Winslow, soon to be, I think, Hall of Famer here in the OMFL. Tyreek Hall, who we've talked about already tonight. Devontae Adams, Cortland Cunningham, Mike Evans, who was recently let go from the Tampa Bay Bucks. Drexter Clinton from the Kansas City Chiefs. At tight end, you got Donovan Rivers, Mello Carlisle. Those are two names that I think we're going to see. Carlisle we've seen for quite some time. I don't think he's going to come into Madden 24, but I think Rivers will be. He's going to be a pain in everybody's neck. That guy put up just crazy numbers. Let's see if my old eyes can see these offensive linemen. We got DeMarcus Wilkes, Joe Thuney, Glenn Ogletree, Ryan Kelly, Isaiah Wynn. Those are going to be your starting 5 offensive linemen. Trent Brown, Colin Moran, Mitch Morris, Mike, not even going to try to say it, Braden Smith. That's going to round out your backups in the AFC offensive linemen. What do we think about the AFC starting and backup offense Pro Bowl roster, fellas?
That's a very impressive roster, and it's guys that all, if you looked at the season, all really did stand out.
Yeah, that's like you said, there's no shockers with Ridder, and then also Mike Thomas, breaking records and setting records, and there was a no-brainer there. Rivers, if Massimo does bring him over, that's going to be that guy, along with those weapons that we just talked about on the outside, just gives a new dynamic to that offense. And yeah, I'm thinking if I'm Massimo, I'm bringing Rivers over too. So yeah, a lot of good names on this list.
Let's take a look at the offense, or the defense for the AFC. At lineman, you got Myles Garrett, Jalen Phillips, who also won Defensive Player of the Year, Ed Oliver from the Buffalo Bills, Jeffrey Simmons from the Tennessee Titans. Those are your 4 starters. At backups, had an extra one in there. Paul Hutchinson, Rashad Gary, Daniel Hunter. We've seen him go off in the OMFL Bowl 105. Emmanuel Agba, I think I'm saying that one right. Chris Jones. Those are your defensive linemen. At linebacker, you got Aguilera, Cooper Harper, Alaquin. I'm pretty sure I'm messing that one up. Devin Lloyd, Jermaine Johnson II. Not even going to try the linebacker from Cleveland. You know who you are. Bobby Arike from the Colts, who I've always wanted to have back on my roster since 2 Maddens ago. Logan Wilson also rounding out the linebackers. At cornerback, you got Darnay Holmes from Jacksonville, Deion Prime, a staple here in the OMFL for many seasons now, Denzel Ward, Chobi Aweze. I'm probably messing this up. I should just give all of these to Trey. He is so good at these. I suck at them. I just can't do them. Tre'Davious White from LSU, from Buffalo, and then why don't you try the one from Miami, because I know I ain't going to say that one right.
Let's see if I can see this here.
Enigmaway? Anyway. His name was so long, I couldn't put his first name. That's how long that entire name was.
And what, we're going off of... Noah Hinklebaum.
You're so good at these. I should go take a trade class. Xavier Howard moving over to safety and making the Pro Bowl for the Dolphins. Nick Cross, Julian Blackman, Darnell Savage rounding out the safeties. And then your specialists, Harrison Butker, Jordan Stout, and Virgil Jennings from the Cincinnati Bengals. And that is your special teams and your AFC defensive Pro Bowl roster. Anything sticking out? A lot of good playmakers over there. And one of the things that stuck out to me, we got some Jacksonville Jaguars in there. We got some New England Patriots in there. We got some Tennessee Titans in there. So you don't have to be a winning team here. You just got to have a go have a great season.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the point. It's not, the winning season guys. It's the guys that shine the brightest. So you may be on a losing team, but if you're being a dominant player on that team, it stands out.
Yeah, there's some parity there with the players, obviously scattered out throughout the AFC. Hunter, came from Minnesota. I'm still expecting an extra third rounder, Cincy, for that that trade, because he did go off in the OMFL Bowl. I really like to see, like you said, Jacksonville. Some of those lower rated teams having some success with players, getting them in the Pro Bowl, kind of gets their name out there. And it always felt good, when you have a few guys from your team, even if you were struggling, made the Pro Bowl, and it kind of gives you a little bit of like, hey, I'm on the right track to get my team built, to make an impact in future seasons.
All right, now it's time to reveal the NFC Pro Bowl. Let's get over here. We're going to cover the NFC Offensive Pro Bowl roster. Quarterback Trey Lance from the San Francisco 49ers. Tua Tagovailoa from the Washington Commanders. Zeke still getting it done for the Dallas Cowboys. James Cook, Cameron Reese, Kirk Goldman. That's going to round out your starting fullbacks and running backs there for the NFC. Chris Godwin, man, he had such a great season for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Cooper Kupp, McCole Hardman, Terry McLaurin, DK Metcalf, and Tua Atwell rounding it out for the receivers. Tutu, that's right. Tutu Atwell. What a great name, too. Maxwell Bass, Taylor Porter getting it done for the tight ends. Bass is quietly an extremely good tight end and drives me nuts whenever I have to play Dwayne, because that kid just gets it done. Offensive linemen, Brian O'Neill, Charles Cross, Lucas Patrick, Nick James, Charles Leno Jr., Teron Armstead, Nitan Mutai, Cody Whitehair, Scott Nicholson, Jose Burke, rounding out the offensive linemen there for the NFC. Guys, we have any thoughts about this NFC Pro Bowl roster? That is some serious playmakers at wide receiver.
Yeah, if we were actually doing a Pro Bowl game, I'd take the NFC just based on the offense alone. I think that could mollywop that AFC defense.
Biggest surprise? No Detroit Lions receivers on here, even though your rookie quarterback had a pretty good rookie year.
He had a good year, but there was an emphasis on somebody getting the ball out of the backfield.
That is true, and he did make the Pro Bowl. Let's look at
I
your
made a
defense.
point to do that.
Let's look
Yeah,
at your
what was
defense.
what was that fullback's name again?
Cameron Reese.
Yeah, it's still driving me insane. NFC defensive Pro Bowl roster, your defensive lineman, Aaron Donald, that's not a surprise. Nick Bosa, Evan Cooper, that Los Angeles Rams defensive line was just unbelievable. Justin Harrison, Adrian Hutchison, Chase Young, Aiden Hutchison, whatever, Darian Payne, Matt McLeon, I don't know, something like that for San Francisco. The linebackers, Micah Parsons, listen to these linebackers, Micah Parsons, Keanu Neal, Logan Rhodes, Devin White, athletic, fast, can get after the quarterback, tons of sacks from that group. Shaq Thompson, Tyson Cash. Man, Tyson Cash that guy was just a stud from day one. Deion Jones for Atlanta, still getting it done, and Dean for Philadelphia. I think he was an import and such a great player.
Jacoby?
Moving over.
He's a real life player.
Oh, is he? Well, there you go. I messed it up. There was a linebacker that I remember Kevin drafted and was really, really good for Philadelphia what was that, Madden 22. At cornerback, we got Woodland, Conway, Terrell, Hodge, Diggs, and Jackson, athletic playmakers. At safety, you got Thompson, Chin, Whitfield, and Buda Baker, one of my favorite names to say. And your specialists are Joey Sly, Doug Johnson, and Virgil Fells, leading the OMFL with 6 touchdown returns for scores. And I need to check. I don't think it's a record, but it feels like it should be. I mean, 6 scores.
It's close, Nate, but I can tell you it's not.
You had 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. Just one shot. What do we think about the NFC Defensive Pro Bowl roster?
That roster of just you could put just a defensive line out on the defense and you'd have troubles. That's just crazy that amount of talent lies inside the NFC.
Yeah, and there's a few guys missing from that list too that if they were added to it would be just as deadly. The defensive end for the Chicago Bears, I can't think of his name, but he was another drafted player within Madden, and
very good.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Every other play is in the backfield, and but like you said, the linebackers there, of course, 2 of them come from Dallas. You know, Dwayne, that's Dwayne's ball. He just plays smash mouth football, but I really think like the Evan Cooper dude from the LA Rams on the line, that's a surprise because obviously I wouldn't have picked that being there at the start of the season, but Tim did an outstanding job with him, and I know he usured him some as well, but he got the stats and and he made the Pro Bowl. I got to give a shout out to the one Minnesota Viking making the Pro Bowl at the punter, but hey, we got somebody in there.
As we land this ship, let's talk about which positions we feel like each roster has better. Which roster are you taking for quarterbacks?
NFC.
I'm taking Joe Burrow in the AFC just for the simple fact that for me, I think he would be a better quarterback for me if I was controlling the AFC squad. Obviously, Ritter is the champion in the OMFL. So, but yeah, I'm going with the AFC on the quarterback side.
I think I'd have to go AFC as well, thinking about the seasons that these guys had, not necessarily the players. Running back, we're taking AFC or NFC, Maniac?
I'm going NFC.
I'm going AFC.
This one's tough. I think I would have to go AFC, and I think the backups are what slightly puts it over the edge. Now, we've already kind of talked about this one, but I'm going to go ahead and ask it anyway. Trey, who are you taking for receivers?
I'd have to lean towards the AFC on that one.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I feel they have a much more style mix-up, so you can mix and match your attack versus the NFC's mostly just about pure speed and outrunning you.
Maniac, who are you
Yeah,
taking for receiver?
I'm probably going NFC here because for me, Godwin is, he's kind of that the possession receiver, but he's also got good speed. Cooper Kupp, he's also a good possession receiver. Then you got Hardman, Scary Terry, Metcalf, and Atwell that can all kind of burn you. But Metcalf is also one that he can go deep, go over the middle. I mean, you can't really go wrong with either squad. But to me, I think for my style, I think the NFC would fit better.
I'm torn on this one. Flip a coin, but I think I would have to agree with Trey and take the AFC. Let's go tight end. Who are we taking for tight end, Maniac?
This one's kind of tough for me, but I think I'm going AFC. Rivers just proved to be an X factor, pun intended with Madden's X factors, but I just think that he's kind of a difference factor. And then Carlisle also is a very good possession tight end, and I think he also has pretty good blocking capabilities as well. So, yeah, I'm going AFC.
I've
Trey.
got to go with the NFC. Maxwell
Really?
Mask has the ability to be. You can put him at a receiver. You can put him on tight end. You can sub him back into fullback if you want to. He has the ability to just be put anywhere and be effective in line.
I'm going AFC. Just the athleticism that's going to open up. That'd be a fun Pro Bowl, Ross. This would be a fun Pro Bowl game. Offensive lineman, Trey.
I'm leaning more towards the AFC offensive line. It's built a lot more sturdy that you can benefit both the run and pass game, I feel. Whereas I feel the NFC roster is built more specifically for dealing with the annoyance that has been our pass rush and not so much a run game.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with Trey here on this one. I'm going AFC. I think, like he said, and I kind of feel the same way. They have a little bit more variety to open up your offense with the run and the pass. For me, I feel like the NFC side is more power based from the guys that I'm looking at on this list. So so give me the AFC.
Yeah, I'm going NFC on this one. I just think that these offensive linemen were so big and so powerful that they really led to some really good offenses on the NFC side. Defensive lineman, Maniac.
I think I'm going with the AFC. But one, I mean, if you look at like the top, I know both these squads are really good, but if you look at the top sack leaders, you got Garrett, Phillips. They were all in the top 5. Oliver is like one of the best inside defensive tackles, run stuffers, and pass rushers in the OMFL. And then, I mean, the guys that are on the back end of this, Chris Jones, Hunter, Gary, all these guys can get after the quarterback. So I'm taking the AFC on this one.
Some dogs over there.
Yeah, I gotta go with the NFC. I just think like, whereas there's a lot of spot-specific guys for the AFC, I feel as though the NFC, you guys, there's a lot more guys that if you want to, you can sub them at defensive tackle, you can put them at defensive end. You run a 4-3, you can throw them out the edge, and they could be a factor both in coverage and on the rush. I just feel there's a lot more mix and match that you can do to cause a lot more grief on the AFC side of things.
I'm going NFC as well. I like the versatility, all the things that Trey said, and those guys can get after the quarterback and cause some havoc. Linebacker, Maniac.
I'm going NFC on this, hands down. Parsons, Neil White, like you talked about, just so much speed, so much agility, and then there's versatility there as well. We talked about that with the defensive lineman. Parsons is a great pass rusher, and then the backup guys with Cash and Thompson and Jones and Dean. That is just a group right there to build around.
When you have to move somebody from a defensive back to a linebacker just to fit them in the system, and it works, yeah, that's just having an extra advantage. I have to go with the NFC.
Yeah, to be fair, the Dallas Cowboys have moved him all around the place as well. I'm going NFC as well. I just think there's too many playmakers over there. Cornerback, Trey.
I'm leaning towards the AFC. A lot more athleticism and a lot more coverage ability, whereas I feel like the NFC's defensive corners are more just speed, so if they get the jump on the ball, they're good, but they also have the chance to get burned bad.
This one's really tough for me. But I'm leaning towards the NFC because just for some fact of like what just Trey said with speed. Conway, though, Tampa Bay, to me is like he was an import player for Kevin. I think he came from Philly. He drafted him in Philly last Madden, but Conway was a huge player, and he was just constantly, in the top 5-10 guys every season for interceptions, pass deflections. And then you got Diggs, and then Alex Hodge was another import player for D-Money there. So those guys were making impacts. So I'm taking NFC for the cornerback.
I'm going AFC for the cornerback. I just think there's too many playmakers on this side of the ball that are going to get turnovers for you. Let's go safety, Maniac.
Give me the AFC. You got the converted cornerback Howard making a huge impact, free safety for the Dolphins. And then I watched Nick Cross for the Indianapolis Colts make so many big plays for him, taking him into the playoffs. I just think that the AFC safeties would fit my scheme better.
I've got to go towards the NFC side. I feel like if you're going to get burned in the run game, having two hard-hitting safeties doesn't hurt.
Let's wrap it up with specialists, kickers, punters, and returnment. Trey.
It's very much I want the kicker from the NFC and everything else AFC scenario. So like, given I'm going 2 out of 3 on the AFC, I'd definitely lead towards the AFC.
I got to go with my homeboy, the only boy that's representing the Vikings, so the punter, but that wouldn't be the reason why I would take this. The kick return specialist, Fells, was just dynamic this last season, and anytime you can have that type of weapon on special teams, you just can't pass him up.
Yeah, I'm selfish. I'm going NFC. Fells single-handedly won 3 or 4 games for me last season, and I really, really want to take him to Madden 24. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but I really want to take him over there. Well, guys, that is going to wrap it up. There are your Pro Bowls for season 105. These were fun. I've spent a lot of my last few days redesigning all the graphics. I was sick of them, and this one feels like it's going to stick for a while. I really like this graphic. I hope that you do as well. I hope that you enjoyed the show. Maniac Trey, thanks for popping in on a random Thursday with me. I appreciate you guys. We're at the end here. We are going to do a couple more things. Maniac and I have been talking about content Trey's going to be gone for some time. I'm sure whenever he gets back, he'll be jumping in some content with me. We're going to do some re-watches of games. I've got a whole list of 6 or 7 games from last season. We're going to go back and watch past champions, past playoff games. We're also going to, I think, possibly maybe do some kind of like coach ratings again. Maniac's working on some cool ideas. We're going to have the imports that we can look at. Lots of content to go along with the Summer League. And to give one little final, like, little nudge, I'm going to do a whole show on this, but the OMFL Test League is officially live. Maniac and I played a quarter, and it is different. I don't know how I feel about it. I got to be honest with you. I really enjoyed it, but I'm questioning why I enjoyed it a little bit like we did when we went no switch. I was like, I'm going to hate this, and then we did it, and I was like, ooh, that was fun. I really like it, and it stuck, and this is very similar. It was, the rule set is simplified. It opens up offenses. It allows you guys who love to run your closed bunch loaded to do so. It allows you to run some 3 wide receiver offenses. It opens up the defensive playbook. If you want to be zone heavy, if you want to be man heavy, if you want to be blitz heavy, it opens up all those things, gives you lots of flexibility, but you have no adjustments. You have to run the play like you call it, and there's just something pure about it that I really like. You have to, like, again, there are no play clock restrictions. You can run the play clock all the way down to 1 and slow it down, eat up the clock. Ball control offense, you can sling it around the field and just go high scoring. You have all the options, and with Maniac testing it out for a quarter last night, there was just something about it, like, you had to really think through, okay, what's he going to do here? What's the down and distance? Where are we out on the field? How's he going to attack me? What position am I going to play? You can do anything you want pre-play call. You can adjust. You can do all of those things pre-play. But when you pick your play and call that play and get out there on the field, if you don't like it, you got to call timeout. And it just, I don't know. I'm rambling now, but I really enjoyed it. And I want you to come help me test it, okay? Because you're not going to know if you like it unless you come test it. I'm trying to keep things fair and even and strategic, all those guiding principles, and super easy to remember. And this rule set is about as simple as you can get to try to remember. So if you want to get in there, let me know. I'll get you invited and just play some test games. It's going to be random, not a lot of structure. Just going to randomly advance, randomly swap around teams, just have some fun with it, along with the Bills Summer League that's rocking and rolling. And then as we get into July, we're going to kick off our fundraiser. We're going to kick off OMFL Media Days, which has been a total hit the last 2 Maddens. Lots of great stuff. So for those of you who are still around during the summer and you want to keep, staying engaged with us, come on. There's lots and lots of content, and there's a ton of shooters you can go try. So big world out there in the grown folks community. Come check it out. For Trey, for Maniac, for the leadership here in the OMFL, I love you. I appreciate you. You matter to me. We'll see you in the next one, okay? Peace.